My dick is big. It's playing the music. Stop playing the music. Mute that.
Oh.
That's what we call charging the Mega Buster.
I'm going to start recording music.
I just like and my birthday's coming up. I'm turning years old.
Oh, John, my phone is always on silent. Yours is the one that ding, 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 ding.
It's not my fault people love me and want to talk to me.
Turn your ringer off.
You get stuck in your 5 head.
Rude. It's a 6 head.
6.5 head right here.
So, totally random since you mentioned that.
Since you mentioned that, my penis. No. Yeah, go ahead.
So, as you know, I was out for. Oh, hi everybody. I'm James.
Are we jumping into the intro now, or no preamble?
Oh no, well the preamble's going to happen after my intro. I'm James.
Who? What line?
We
never done it this fast before.
He's dumb.
That's what she said. But yes.
Hey, 5 seconds of fury.
5 feet of fury. That's right.
I call this.
I can double dutch with my cock.
I call this dick by the foot.
Get your Nintendo 64 game tips on the wrapper. Remember that shit? Oh.
Yes. So, I'm James.
I'm John.
And as you know, this is Games with John and James. Now, back to the randomness that always happens before our episode. So, I was away. I was in Louisiana for work this past week. And one of the people I was working with, I forget where it was, not really working with, but I just saw them randomly as I was in the area.
Some guy on the street.
So wherever I go, I always go to check the retro scene and, check stuff out. See, hey, is this place better deals than this place? Are they honest? Et cetera, so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not a 4 head, not a 5 head, not a 6 head, not a 7 head, not an 8 head, but a 9 head. This person was legit bald all the way back to the crown of their head, but refused to let the hair go, either go bald or wig or whatever. So they just had this lump of fucking hair on the crown of their head, and it poofed out on the sides to where it looked like a retarded 80s cut.
I picture Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, or I picture Dr. Wily.
Yeah, I mean, big facts. Also, and then speaking of hair, Martha ordered some hair extensions. So we have our official wedding ceremony coming up on September 2nd.
I've said this word before that I've run into the ground, but mazel tov.
Thank you very much. I am super ecstatic, super nervous, and she got some hair extensions in. So Friday evening, she's like, let me put these in your hair. And I'm like, fine. Okay. Why not? So okay. You guys all on air get to probably hear John's ridiculous laughter with what he's about to see. It's me as if I've retired and grew out my hair.
Oh my God. You look like you look like Metal Jesus Rocks.
Only 80 pounds lighter?
Oh, ouch.
And I'm not begging for money for my game room.
Whoa, we're going to start beef?
I mean, so I respect him. I mean, we collect in Metal Jesus Rock's name. However, what I don't respect is, so he's from the Pacific Northwest, right?
I have no idea. I just know of him.
So he does a pretty good job collaborating with others to talk about games and stuff. And I respect that. He's artificially inflated the retro market at times for his own benefit, which I don't respect. And then he had air quotes, giant air quotes that you can't visibly see, but John can, water damage to his game room and set up a GoFundMe or some type of bullshit to get money. And he had no fucking damage. Huh. No. Fuck that. That is wrong. And that is taking advantage of your fan base.
So he fleeced some folks.
Quite a bit. He's got a huge following.
That's not cool.
Exactly.
Is this actually a giant allegedly?
It happened.
It did happen. So he didn't get water damage and he fleeced his fans.
Here. Entertain the masses. How was your week?
How was my week? I was very, very tired all week because I'm starting to do 2-a-day workouts and you can't outrun a bad diet, so I'm trying to fix my diet too. But at the same time, I used to box, and I remember having a lot more energy like 10 years ago than I do now. So I don't know. I can still hit hard, I can still keep up, but, you get tired pretty quick, so maybe endurance is the way to go.
So, yeah.
No, I'm not going to an MMA gym, because I don't want to freaking hug people on the ground.
I dominate you!
What freaking Orgasmo deleted scene was that from?
Hey, good reference. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch Orgasmo. Do not thank us later, and then question your life choices.
Yeah, question your life choices by A, listening to us, and B, listening to us even more by watching that movie.
Yeah, no, so he's made tons of posts.
If you have a Chota Boy costume, send us pictures at Games with J&J.
So there's tons of posts where he references, hey, updated this and that, but it was all through crowdfunding, essentially, right?
Yeah, GoFundMe and all that kind of stuff. You get to keep all the money you get.
When you have, because I think he on YouTube alone, I think he's sitting over 1 million subscribers.
Nice.
You're making money hand over foot at that point.
Is it like TikTok money or?
Well, no. So YouTube money is really good. Not as good as TikTok. TikTok's the new kid on the block. But I mean, if you average, if you have a video with like 1.7 million views, you're bringing in like 8,000 to 10,000 that day.
Nice.
It's really good money. Also, hint, hint, we should do YouTube.
We should only do it for the money and nothing else.
I'm here for the money.
Okay, Shane McMahon, chill out.
Now, the other thing, so Friday, John comes into work.
God, this bullshit. Okay.
We wrapped up, we played volleyball. It's a indoor volleyball with walls. It's very fun.
We also did those muscle ups with the medicine balls.
Yeah, that was not fun.
I liked it. But also, I'm a meathead, so.
Yeah, well,
I'm the angry video game jock.
John Smash, little man.
I just say ass in a deeper voice. Ass. That's too sexy. We can't say that. But yes, continue.
So, comes into the office. He's getting set up. We're talking for a little bit. A whiteboard on his desk falls. And he has like a brain blast. And he's like, oh, hey, did you see this? I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. As he's putting his whiteboard back, behind one of the work cabinets, lo and behold, John finally found a copy of Sonic and the Secret Rings. Mm-hmm. The look on his face can be described as this: happiness, anger, confusion, bewilderment, frustration, annoyance, all in the span of like half a second. And picture like the face just going on like overdrive mode for all its muscles. And then I was like, yeah,
I think you're being hyperbolic, but anyway.
No, you went through a range of emotions. So
I was just so excited to play my favorite video game of all time again.
So he searches a little bit more. He finds another one behind his computer monitor.
Yeah.
And at this point, John goes full manic psycho crazy mode. He is tipping over cabinets, looking on the bottoms of them. He is literally jerry-rigging the cabinet to pop open shelves.
Yeah.
And look in between areas. He gets other people involved. He's like, yeah, if you want to help me, I'd appreciate that. And for the whole workday, he was just trying to find the original virus. And I, being the generous prankster I am, I told him where the original was vaguely. I said, it is within our, because he's also in my work cubicle, area. And I was being polite. If he was like, is it here? No. Here? Nope. I wasn't going to tell him where it was, but I was also being polite so he's not like pulling what's left of his hair out trying to find it.
I like how all this does is make you sound like the psycho person, really.
I mean, you were the one taking apart work furniture.
I wasn't taking it apart, I was lifting it. Again, meathead.
So we get through the day. It's kind of an uneventful, like, it's that work Friday where it's just like, all right.
It's 2 o'clock, let's go home.
I need to go.
No, okay, I want to end this story because this is how arbitrary all of these rules have been for so long. Because I'm searching for it, and I'm taking a break because after a morning workout and a nothing breakfast, you're kind of tired toward the middle of the day.
Fair.
And so, naturally, as the day started to wind into the lull of the afternoon, I was just kind of chilling out. I was like, I know it's here, and I still want to look for it because I know I can find it. You are the one who routinely moves these goalposts and just says, hey, I have to leave for the day, therefore the game's over, which, no, that's not how games work. And so you revealed where the original virus was, and it was a place I had checked before, but maybe not as thoroughly as I had done, which, for all intents and purposes, I would have checked again, but again, you as the person...
Your hand wouldn't have fit.
How did yours fit?
I told you it took me an hour and a half to get it into position.
What was funny was that when you got it into that position and then you pulled it out, you were worried, like, because it got stuck behind stuff. So I'm like, okay, I guess I feel the original is going to be the entire time now. But, so this wonderful person, I was going to say other words, is like, here's where the original was, where I could have found it, and probably would have found it eventually, but because you decided to just end the game arbitrarily, I didn't do it.
Well...
So, you know what I'm going to do all this week, right?
Yeah, you're going to find it.
I'm going to finger blast every cabinet we have. And just be like, where are you? Where's that hedge pussy?
So...
Yeah, you're editing this one.
I feel like this is the week John will finally find it. So he's eliminated 2 viruses because he found 2 of the extra added in viruses.
So I get to play Sonic and the Secret Rings twice.
Hey, great game. 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Probably with IGN.
No, I think they gave it like a 7.
How?
Because it was the Wii and it was new and it was like, this is like a roller coaster. It's fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I can tell you why that game reviewed well at the time, but it's still bad.
Yeah, that's fair. So, but in the week leading up to my wedding, I've taken some time off from work to get things situated, make the final touches, etc., so on and so forth. So this is the week I truly feel John,
sorry,
who's throwing stuff right now,
yeah,
will find it.
Okay, so in order to do that, you're going to need this. Here you go.
Did you really take that out of the original?
Yeah, I did.
You realize, why would you do that?
Because I wanted to fuck with you, in case I found it, like it's an empty box again, and just put that in there.
You're horrible.
Yeah. Wait, who's horrible?
You!
Really?
You're ruining the spirit of competition.
I cheat in every game I play.
So, the original... Jesus.
I do.
The original virus...
I utilize my time better. I have never earned anything in my life. Steroids, thank you.
So, the original virus is complete in box. Has the manual, the artwork on the cover, and the disc. Right. All of the additional viruses have no manuals. John, in the spirit of cheating...
It was on your desk with the other 2 ones, and I was just like, you know what? I just grabbed it.
Thanks, Tanya Harding.
Just to be thankful I'm not beating the shit out of you and cracking your knees open.
My shin?
It
was right here.
I know where shins are.
But he took the manual out of the original. And what he was going to do is if he even found one of the other cases...
I would have just planted it and been like, hey, look what I found.
The good part is I know the case of the original.
Oh, I would have found the most pristine one. You know that.
It's not pristine if you looked at it.
It's white enough.
There's also an identifiable marker on it that only I know. So, no.
I jizzed on it, so I get my black light out.
No, I just do that on your desk.
I knew that smell came from somewhere.
So,
yeah, good thing you're editing this one.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been fun. I think this is the week John is finally going to end the Secret Rings.
I'm going to take this to completion.
And for you listeners and our fans, John is going to maintain all of these. And one day, gift them to you in some form or fashion.
Yeah, so this, I like how we're basically opening a call out to all of our listeners. If we ever make it big in any capacity with our podcast, that we start making convention appearances and stuff like that, I will autograph every copy of this game and give them out for free.
You get a game! You get a game!
I will Oprah the shit out of this thing. I will keep the original for posterity.
Oh, you're paying to meet me? No, I'm paying you to take this game.
Yes.
So, with that, we've hit our point where we have our quick fire action review.
We
So
do not. This intro has been 15 minutes long.
this is a 30-second review.
Okay, go for it.
So one of the games I played while in Barksdale, Final Fantasy VII for the Switch.
What?
Yeah, they made a 7-8 combo pack. So I was like, I need to take my brain off a little bit. If you haven't played the original 7, get this combo pack because it has speed ups for battle, 0 load times, 0 negative from the original, and it's basically all the quality of life improvements you would want. Play it, enjoy the original before part 2 of the remake comes out.
Or the mobile version.
That too.
Or
yes.
Crisis Core Reunion.
Yeah, about that too. But yes, play it. It was fun. And also, if you like 8, it actually has vastly improved textures, character models, and everything, and it doesn't look like a slug.
Have you seen the side-by-sides? Yeah. An improvement is an understatement.
Squall, side-by-side.
Yeah.
Renoa, side-by-side.
Renoa has always been fine, let's be clear. I have a friend who cosplayed her, and she is adorable.
Aw. So, play it. Now, with that, we here at Games with John and James,
the two of us, yeah.
Hey, we pride ourselves on, being honest with you when it comes to discussing games, reviewing in our quick action reviews, and we're going to take you down a very fun review of a game John recommended to me, and I actually, his favorite phrase, played it to completion. And
just over here like a creep, like
oh my god.
You finally got it.
When we come back, we're going to talk about an indie darling if you're a fan of beat 'em ups and that nice, beautiful, vibrant, cel-shaded environment with a tad bit of difficulty even on easy mode.
Yeah.
Young Souls.
Yeah, don't go nowhere, folks. We're going to fuck them kids.
M. It's what's for dinner.
What is M?
Mature.
Oh. Oh. 17 and up? That means legal.
Oy vey. Oy vey.
Oh, this is whenever we get on serious, I'm going full X-rated. Stick around for that, folks. We'll be right back.
So, welcome back, and we're going to hit you with a long overdue, wonderful review! Because I think our last one was, Hades?
Yeah.
Wow. Half a year.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while, man. We've had more Fallen franchises than we've had reviews of shit.
That is fair. We need to step our game up. So,
do we? I think they get enough. They get enough of us during the week.
I mean, that's fair. So, I have to cede the floor to John because this game is not my area of expertise. Although I did beat it, and I have things to say. John, bring us about some Young Souls.
Okay, so the nitty-gritty of it is it's a RPG, but the combat system is based off of old school arcadey style beat 'em up games. You acquire weapons, you acquire armor, you do all that kind of stuff, you level up your skills, but the way that it is presented is very much the way that I would describe it is it feels like a college art project. And that's what sort of made it appeal to me from the beginning, because sure enough, I have Xbox Game Pass, and I saw Young Souls there in the block. And when I saw the art style of it, I immediately had that thought of like another one of these artsy type of games where the gameplay might be lax, but the style is going to be on point a bit. But the thing that caught my attention when I checked out the description of the game, it was M-rated. And
You don't really see that anymore.
You don't really see it at all when it comes to indie, cutesy, artsy games.
Big facts.
And so that immediately intrigued me. And sure enough, downloaded it, played it. It's the story of these twins living in this town, and all of it goes to shit. I wonder how much of it goes into spoilers territory, but basically they go underground to fight goblins.
Yeah, I mean, so we preface this with being a review episode, right?
Yeah, so you have to talk about the story and the gameplay.
Exactly. So here's your late spoiler warning.
Yeah, if you don't want to hear, like, we're not going to go into actual story points, but we're just going to tell you what you actually, what the reason is for playing the game. Because this is going to be a landmark moment for the show. As I started playing it, I realized I was playing it for the story, not so much the gameplay. Despite the gameplay being kind of up my alley, I actually cared about what was going to happen to the kids and the world and the characters. That is something that has not happened in a game in a long time.
I am no longer forever alone.
You finally, I had to find it myself to make that happen. But there's a lot of this game that just struck a chord with me immediately, and that's what made me want to keep playing it. The two kids are presented as these, orphaned, kind of street urchin-y,
very sassy,
destitute children. And I'm like, that immediately endears me to these characters because I identify with that very much.
Hello, my name is John, and I identify as Sass.
I identify as sass, ass, and grass. No one rides for free.
Chrysass.
Chrysanthemum. This is word association at this point. But yeah, the story focuses on these two twins, a brother and sister, and their delinquent kids in this derelict town. They kind of have like a no future aspect to them. They get adopted by their adoptive father, who is a scientist who leads you on this, charge underground to frickin' stop the Goblin City from destroying the surface world. And it's frickin' flights of fancy craziness with a lot of F-bombs and a lot of, monster killing. And it's interesting because the last game I tried to play for a story was Scarlet Nexus. And Scarlet Nexus had a lot of things that did really right, but also stuff that just made me stop playing it. One of the things that makes me endear myself to a character is the very kind of realness of that character. And when you play Scarlet Nexus and he's like, I'm fresh-faced out of the academy. I'm the favorite son of this guy who works at this organization. I'm a prodigal son. Yay, look at me. I'm the protagonist. I don't get behind that too much. You show me two derelict kids who friggin' have people be like, I hear that they skip school to go sell meth. Yeah.
I hear they're the leaders of a gang.
Yeah, when you get those kind of characters, like, I immediately want to hang out with those characters.
Oh, well, so John is a delinquent in real life.
Yeah. Have you seen where I'm from and how I dress?
I mean, that's fair. So one of the biggest things that gripped me with this game. So as you all know, this is not my vein of expertise. And
punch'ems.
I mean,
that's the new genre, punch'ems.
You saw me play Streets of Rage. How many times did I die and have to continue?
I also saw you play Gunstar Heroes and a lot of other games that are,
How many times did I die and need to continue?
I don't have that many fingers.
Yeah, it was
fingers
bad.
Got you again.
So, if
people who know that reference, you know.
Yep, that is true. If you know, you know.
And if you don't know, now I can't say it. Look it up.
So, I prefaced it at the beginning of this review with, even in easy mode, this game does not hold your hand with the combat mechanics.
Oh yeah, they preface it all the time if you adjust any options, where it's like, this game is designed to challenge you, and I'm like, It's designed to piss me off.
So the game actually opens up. It's not really done anymore. So that's kind of what hooked me in. That's what kept me engaged enough to actually play the game. So the game's not long. It's about a 12 to 15 hour game, depending on
what difficulty you play on
and how familiar you are with these. If we had to do John's least favorite thing of describing a game in the vein of another game.
Yeah.
It's Streets of Rage meets the Cowabunga Collection with adult humor. That was the vibe that it was throwing off. And the game opens up.
And people said it like, very Souls-like in terms of its combat because you have to dodge and be a little bit more reactionary to stuff. And I'm like, ugh.
So it opens up. Normally indie games, when they open up, it's kind of, let me hold your hand. Let me kind of lay out my story. It's very cookie cutter game building.
We've curated this wonderful world that we've tirelessly, meticulously put together through all of our art degrees that we're trying to pay off. And here, just go see the splendor we have waiting for you.
This game,
everything's on fire.
It dumps you. It opens up and it says epilogue. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
oh,
wait, what? So that used to be a big gimmick in the past. It like you start with like Final Fantasy X. Remember, you already like it opens.
This
up
is your story
in Xanarkand.
Yep.
When you had already arrived. Mm-hmm. So it's been done in the past, but it's getting less and less prevalent. So
Final Fantasy VII did it in medias res of that stuff. Spec Ops: The Line did it. Yeah, there's a bunch of games that did it.
So it kind of hooks you. You start fighting the goblins. You fight big fat gobby. And then all of a sudden you fight drillers.
Yeah, the giant machines.
And it doesn't hold your hand. Even though it's giving you the tutorial like, this is your light attack, this is your jump, this is your dodge, this is your switch.
This is how you die.
You still get your cookies pushed in.
Yeah.
And it hooks you from there because it cliffhangers you. Not in a negative way. But it cliffhangers you because it does the a few weeks ago flashback, and you get to play starting a few weeks ago and then get back to the present. So the hook was there. One of the big things that I love about this game is their use of camera movement.
The camera shake.
Well, so the camera shake sucks, but remember in the epilogue, right? Mm-hmm. Like opening scene, you're walking up and it's like, hey, what's that? And then it goes from side scrolling. Because this is a side-scroller beat-em-up, by the way.
Yeah, it's true. It's very old school in that way.
And then it goes from side-scroll to immediately, like, first-person, well, third-person.
The over-the-shoulder shot looking down the hole. Yeah, like, the actual camera direction is interesting because the style lends itself to 2D, but they've done a lot of 3D stuff with it. Yeah.
So they...
Again, artsy game.
Yeah, they put a lot of work into it, and I'll appreciate it. So its combat is very engaging. It's hard. As John said... If you're not a Souls person or you just don't like difficulty for difficulty's sake, use the assists. Thank us later.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because I don't want to have the entire conversation be dictated by just the gameplay because there are a lot of aspects of this game which I can actually talk about, which charmed me with it. But gameplay-wise, this is where I see the negative aspects of people liking the Souls-like type of game, where people have... They've conflated the idea that challenge equals frustration / punishment, and that's not what it is. Because it's one thing to... It's one of those games where you kind of have to determine what your game is trying to be, because, again, it has RPG elements, right? So in most RPGs, if you're not strong enough to beat something, you grind it out and you get stronger, just numbers-based. But if you have a beat-em-up game usually has cheapo tactics that just knock you down from the enemies, but also you can genuinely have a skill cap or like some level of skill that makes it so you can beat anything no matter what. When you have like a stamina bar that just drains, or when you get hit and interrupts your combos to the point where you can't dodge away and escape or find some way out, that is not challenge. That is just dogpiling. That's like fuck you. Now, I will say, though, this is one of those trick games that says, fuck you.
It literally does.
It does. They swear a lot. And that's what charmed me with these characters. They act like actual, like, fucking delinquent teenagers.
So, it's one of the few cases where story meets substance. A lot of JRPGs, its story, substance is kind of hollow, right? But then you have others where the substance is real and the story is literally like, okay, guys, time to go into the adventure.
Time to go get the Triforce.
Like, the story met the substance. And so what vested me with these kids, they act as exactly how most kids were. Because it opens up and you also get choice of dialogue. So, like, at one point, in the epilogue, no less, you run into some goblins. And you get 3 options for your conversations. And, like, one of them is, like, lay down your weapons and we'll let you live. And it's just hilarious. Like, they act, and the teen says that, and then the other one is like, or we'll put you in the ground.
Yep, exactly. Or there's the scene where you go to talk to your professor dad in his, like, laboratory, And he's like, well, how come you kids aren't in school? And you could be like, we stopped going to school, or it's Saturday. And it's like, that shit's funny to me because, it's like, oh, Saturday, okay.
Yeah, there's good humor in the game. It also so the RPG elements are essentially through the equipment. So we'll segue this over a little bit for where the RPG elements come in, because
yeah, you get gear, you get weapons, you level up your stats, all that kind of stuff. The kind of stuff you expect, but the way that they introduce those concepts in the game is what makes it unique, which made me enjoy it.
So, like, leveling up your strength, you're bench pressing, and you actually have, like, a little meter you're supposed to follow. And if you just suck at it, you're not gonna level up as good as you could. Yeah.
Breaking down the actual mechanics is that, like, okay, so I feel like when it comes to structure reviews, we tend to jump around a lot. So aesthetically, it's about these two kids in this small town that's going to be invaded by goblins. Now, there are things to do in town. It introduces you to those concepts pretty quickly when it's like, hey, go to the junk store and sell the equipment that you have to get money to buy clothes and equipment. Or if you beat up goblins, you get their currency and you can buy other stuff. And it's all in this kind of central hub town, right? Mm-hmm. Every time you level up, which is funny because you level up, you get experience points. In order to actually hit those new levels, you have to go to sleep. And so you see them in their room sleeping, and it's like, the girl has the bear pajamas and it's adorable. And then every time you level up, you get the happy fit token, where you can go to the gym and you can level up one of your 3 base stats, which is your your agility, your strength, and your health, I believe. Whichever one's called. Your stamina, right. So the way that you do that is by doing the mini games where you bench press, or you do crunches, or you do an elliptical bike. And yeah, if you suck at it, then you just wasted your shot to level up your base stats. Sorry.
So I think we cover the story pretty well. We cover the aesthetics pretty well. It's one of those games that will grip you visually like Okami or Dragon Quest VIII.
Okay, hold on.
Hear me out. You got to hear me out. So for an indie level, it's for indie level of gaming, right? Because this is an indie darling. It's cell shaded, and it incorporates the colors actually pop. There's not like. In some of the goblin areas, it's dull coloring on purpose. It's goblins.
Yeah, you're underground.
In the town, it's very vibrant. There's blues, purples, etc. And the reason why I say it visually pops is whoever made, like, I feel bad because, like, I played it, but I forget who made it.
It's a very French team. It's like 1P, 2P, the company.
Yeah.
And the arcade crew published it.
And who, like, with the 1P, 2P people, right? They understand color and they understand what pops. So, like Okami, the team behind Okami, they understood this is color, this is engaging, this is going to pop. And I think that's one thing that really helped, because every aspect. So when you're going through the dungeons, when you're in the goblin market, when you're in the overworld in the regular city, the color scheme fits the vibe. Like in the epilogue, the color scheme was reds, oranges, and very sullen and downtrodden because shit, the town's on fire, right?
Yeah, there's the way that it's described in like 2D design aspects, it's color keys, backgrounds and stuff like that. Yeah.
You don't get a lot of games that understand it that well. So that's why I made the comparison to Okami. Because Okami's color team and Okami's aesthetic team, like, that's a 10 out of 10. Easy, right?
Graphics always serve aesthetics. That's what I've always said. And you can tell, because if you look at the developers behind it, it's a very French studio who, I'm assuming they do animation type stuff. And this is why I always say art school game. Because, like, it's the kind of thing where it's one of those things where we really get wrapped up in terms of games with the technical aspects of things. Where, like, this is the technology we use, and this is how we render stuff, and this is how we make this stuff happen, and camera movements and stuff. Yeah, but a lot of these guys did go to frickin' film school and art school, and they know their shit. So it's good to see that on display.
When you can see a marriage of that, because nowadays we kind of don't get it, it's very refreshing. Yeah. I think we've heaped quite a bit of praise when it comes to the aesthetics, when it comes to the story, when it comes to... This game, it's all about the subtlety. And when I say the subtlety, it's every game that's a beat 'em up or XYZ with RPG elements, you expect, I'm going to level up in some form or fashion. Combat is going to be this, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of staples that have to be met.
Yeah.
The way they approached it with the bench pressing, the crunches, the elliptical, just the town engagement.
Finding the ancient warrior that gives you her weapons, and you can use those in the game.
It's a very harmonious blend. It's not forced into your face. It's on point.
There is a cohesive feeling to the world, but I will say that if I could levy a few critiques at this game.
Oh, I was gonna say that's where I feel like we've heaped the praises. Now we have to be honest with people, because I know you have your critiques. I have mine as well. Yeah. We have to temper that overwhelming positivity, because if we're just like, it's sunshines and roses, and they go play it without us saying this, we have done our fans a disservice.
Yeah. There are some, like, I don't like to get too much into the technical aspect weeds of stuff, but there are some times where it's like things didn't like move properly, or like cameras didn't set up, or you get hit by something off screen. Like, there's minor gripes like that. But in terms of the overall feel of the game, there's an entire... I feel like it doesn't have enough time, or maybe I just didn't spend enough time doing it, because again, I'm a type of person that tries to not blast through a game.
You're a point A to point B guy with your games, and not in a bad way. Like, when you find a game you're vested in, like you're truly vested in, you dive deep, you dive hard, you dive fast.
I try to, and the thing is that maybe it's because I
go fast.
I wonder who said that. I wonder if it's because I played with assists and because I made the game a bit, in terms of gameplay-wise, substantially easier for me to just play. I wonder if that maybe undercuts some of the intent behind some of the design aspects, because I feel like the way that this world was created and the story was trying to be told, it was meant for you to spend a lot of time in it. And because I wasn't trying to rush through it, I feel like I was playing it as adequately as I wanted to play it. It maybe didn't give a lot of those things to have like the thematic weight that they should. So when you beat a certain boss, like when you beat the ancient goblin warrior that gives you her weapons, maybe that was supposed to feel a bit heavier than it actually did. Or maybe you were supposed to have more value on the equipment that you could buy from the shoe shop, the clothing store, or the junk store, stuff like that. Maybe you were supposed to have more relationships with people in town because you actually stopped in town to talk to them. Maybe that was supposed to be the case. But because of just my way that I played the game, chose to play it,
You play it very metal.
I do. I'm a very metal person. Unlike your hair extensions. But... So that's what I'm saying, is like, it might have not had, because there are certain aspects in the story, I won't spoil things that happen in the game, but there are certain actual story elements that I think also were meant to have very big thematic weight, but they maybe didn't, because the time that you spent with those characters or the lead up to those moments where it felt a bit rushed.
So if you play the game very straight through, you're going to miss out on those elements. So my RPG-ness kicked in, so whenever I had the chance to go back into the town, I'm talking to everybody, I'm having the dialogue.
I liked the hobo with the dog.
Yes, that guy was funny.
Yeah.
But there's
also the slutty girl who I think is a goblin.
Oh, man. But they blended it really well. Like, the dialogue was engaging, and it kind of enhanced the world building. This game was designed to challenge you. Like, let's just be real, right?
Yeah.
And when you use assists or change the difficulty to the easy versus normal, because normal does not hold your hand. Normal is like extra hard in any other.
So what the hell does the hard setting do?
Oh, I was curious.
And what'd you do?
So I put it. So you remember how you had like challenging and then expert, right?
Yeah, it was expert, balanced, challenging, and there was
So I put it on expert. I was like, I want to see this. I lost in the epilogue.
The part where you're not supposed to die?
Like, I was getting my cookies pushed in.
Ugh, boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm glad I did not subject myself to that, because I would have been pissed off.
So honestly, I think that's one of my biggest critiques for the game, is the balancing. We are in a day and age that even 2D beat-em-ups are going to incorporate Dark Souls elements, because
which they shouldn't.
It's well, we talked about it. It's the trend of gaming, right?
It's a very trendy medium, you know. And that's why I'm surprised there haven't been. Well, I mean, there have been Fortnite clones, but whatever.
I get that it's going to be there, especially in this game after you described it, and I played through the epilogue. I'm like, okay, I get what's coming. Mm-hmm. But you have to find a way to be more forgiving, because I feel like I get the message behind the game. I get the vibe of the game. I get what the intent was. But I also feel like when it came to the combat mechanics, it probably wasn't. How can I fuck you?
It was that, but it was like, it felt like some of that, again, the technical aspects of stuff, it didn't feel as tightly designed as it should have been in order to incorporate and make that as a substantive challenge. You know what I mean?
Where
Like if everything worked together as a cohesive whole with the combat, where like you could recognize patterns easier, or certain things just wouldn't dogpile on you, I think it would have been better. Because the whole point of a beat 'em up is to be able to beat people up. But if you make it an RPG where you're supposed to have very intimate one-on-one combat encounters, if you're fighting 6 dudes, you don't get that. It's like Ninja Gaiden. You ever play Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox, where somebody off screen will just shoot a rocket launcher at you?
Yep.
And you're trying to like do a wicked combo on some dude with a gun, and then suddenly just boom, you're out of the air. It's like, fuck you. Like, that's not fun.
It's so I think we both can readily agree. The aesthetic, the appeal, the atmosphere, the environment, the humor, the dialogue.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like that's where the main focus and the tightening of the script happened. Combat is a little loose, so the cool part about this game, it has not had its physical release yet. So right now it is just digital. So this is the first version of the game.
It's on Game Pass, and I got a shill because I'm a shill, so.
So, I mean, he didn't use the word free, so I appreciate that. I just gave that to you, and you just passed it up. Thank you. Thank you.
I was busy looking at Sonic's bling, because you have the booklet for Sonic on the secret rings still on the desk, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's right. He turns into Darkspine Sonic, and that was cool. But everything else about the game sucks. We'll review that game when I find the original copy and play it. Anyway, continue.
So, you need to have balance, right?
Yep.
And I feel like the combat was secondary to everything else because they hook you. The story hooks you. The environment hooks you.
Yeah, that's what kept me playing.
Yeah, but the combat could have been better.
Yeah, it has all of this potential for, like, because when you unlock new weapons or get different ones and different armor combos, there's a lot of systems in the game that I feel like are meant to.
My shoes give me more gold.
Yeah, your shoes give you more gold, or like, you find the barbarian bikini, you can make the dude wear it, and it's funny. And then, like, that also serves into versus speedy versus slow attacks.
Take that, you male pig.
Yeah, you freaking chauvinist. I can wear what I want.
I mean, they even put in, like, you had to D&D, equipment weight, and all that shit.
Exactly. There's systems in the game that you feel could, the way that I said it lent weight to the systems in the game. But because of the way that you can choose to play, it might undercut some of that. And that's the thing. So I don't want to get into final thoughts. I'll be sure to save my final thoughts until we actually want to wrap up.
Well, I have one critical thing I want to say. Okay. So I played this on the Switch. So
the Switch, yeah.
So when John and I were talking, he was like, we haven't done, like, John actually mentioned we haven't done a review in a while of, like, games. I was like, what have you played recently? He's like, oh, Young Souls. And immediately, like, instead of asking about it, I was like, you know what? I will get it. I will play it. This episode was spoken into existence. On the Switch, when there are multiple enemies on the screen, the lag is real, which takes you out of the experience, punishes you severely.
I was going to say, can it help you with combat by slowing it down, though?
No.
Okay.
So there were certain points. So the cool part about this is, like other beat 'em ups, you can switch in and switch out. Think Turtles, right?
Yeah.
You can switch in, switch out.
And that's actually a cool combo you can do because you can smack people away if they have different weapons. Anyway, there's systems. There's systems in here, and I want them to be explored better. I want Young Souls 2.
So
Young Souls is
Young Souls
with how the game ends, I mean, they've opened it up for potential sequels. So
yeah, I mean, hopefully it does well. I mean, I know I spent $24.99 on it.
Really?
That's what it cost on the Switch.
Thank you, Game Pass.
Hey, that's more. That's 2 months.
That's two characters. That's 2 games played on Game Pass.
The other thing is people playing on PC. Sometimes when doing the switch, because it's through the minus key, up to a 10-second delay.
Ouch.
On switching in and out. So I'm hoping, because the true physical release hasn't happened. So they have all of this data leading up to true releases, right? Use it, make it better, have a really nice patch that comes out with it. I'm not a big fan of, like, day one patches. I hate that shit. But this is one where if they balance out that combat more, especially with, like, the lag or handheld on the Switch mode, just, like, dumpster firing because it can't handle 6-7 enemies on the screen.
That's
it's a handheld Switch for you.
It's a fault of hardware more than, I mean, like, people can be like, oh, it's not programmed well, whatever. Like, it's all an alchemy.
Well, the lag also happened multiple enemies on computer.
Oh.
And
so I got the ideal version, I guess.
you got lucky. So it didn't happen for everybody. It would happen for some, like sometimes you got lucky, sometimes you didn't. You can't have that.
No.
You have to make that better.
Yeah.
So I think for a good like first entry, because this is it's a unique entry to a brand new IP, right?
Yeah.
This could be one and done. It could be more than one and done.
Mm-hmm. So I think, are there any other aspects you want to talk about before we jump into any final thoughts?
I mean, no, I think we covered it well. Like story, visuals, combat. We did pros, cons, gameplay. Like, holy crap, we had structure to our review.
Yeah, because I definitely have some final thoughts. Because...
Oh yeah, no, like my final thought. I'm gonna steal your thunder.
It's called taking turns. It's called sharing. It's called a partnership. That's what we do here.
Games with James and James.
Ew.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird. That would not roll off the tongue.
Welcome to the show, Games with James and James. We're going to jerk each other off. See who does it the best.
Dutch rudder, go! And if you know that reference, you know.
I just like the idea of like a pro wrestler. It's like, I'm going to jerk you off. Guess who's doing it? Who's the best?
Oh, man.
And Kurt Angle knows I'm a genetic freak.
So, oh, man.
That's Samoa Joe. Scott Steiner, I love you.
Oh man, that dude was crazy. Tell me you're on roids without telling me you're on roids. That dude's vein, like remember his bicep vein? Every time he flexed, I literally thought his muscle was going to explode.
I just listen to his legendary speech, and then you'll know he's on roids.
And if you look at him from the 80s, like if you look at him when he first started wrestling in the mid to late 80s, early 90s with his brother Rick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Completely different. Like had a mullet, actually like normal body frame, goes to WCW and just juices up.
Yep.
And when he comes back to
the chainmail coif.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he came back to WWE, he couldn't juice, and he couldn't wrestle. It was like Ultimate Warrior levels of gassing, and that's why he did push-up contests with Triple H and bench press contests because the dude sucked.
All right, that's enough of a tangent. Should we go into our final thoughts now?
So I'm going to give a callback. We did an episode a while back about indie darlings. Mm-hmm. And we've also talked about, what we hope for the gaming industry of the future. Young Souls is an amalgamation of RPG, beat 'em up, Souls-like. And
I cringe every time I hear that word. I'm sorry.
That's fair. That is very fair. But it's shown that an indie game can follow a trend while still maintaining what makes it unique. Mm-hmm. And my biggest takeaway I want you all to have from this, besides play it, actually play this game. It's very quick. It's a 12-hour game.
Yeah, you can knock this out pretty quick.
This is a weekend play. Hell, this is a one Saturday play. If you got everything you need done, This is a one-day play. But this, I think, is a testament to where indie can continue to go, because this game, along with if you remember Blue Fire that came out from a while back.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yes, I do.
Sorry, I had to yawn. Jesus.
So, I think the biggest selling point of this game is I appreciate indie games more than AAA nowadays. It's just it's starting to happen.
Yeah.
And it was rewardingly refreshing while offering me mainstream gaming elements through the combat, through gear purchase, because that gear purchase system, it's cookie cutter across the board.
It's one of those things where you're not going to necessarily get new elements, but the elements you do get work together. And so it's just fun. Like, games can just be fun.
It is beyond enjoyable. It is hard. So if you like the challenge, it gives you the challenge. If you want to do what John or I did, where we added assists to make it a lot easier, you can do that too. The story is a fun. Hey, look, I'm Mario.
It's a fun game.
This game gives me hope for more indie games coming out. I know with some indie games we're going to get shovelware. Yeah. Looking at you, Fragrant Story.
I was going to say, look at you, everything on the Google Play Store.
Accurate. But I think this is a testament to how far, honestly, indie gaming has come to where it can mesh AAA elements with indie elements, and it actually gives you a harmonious blend. Honestly, like, I know we haven't done it before, I'd give this a solid 8.5 out of 10.
All right. So for my final thoughts, I'm not going to repeat a lot of the stuff you said because we do share some, praise for this game. For me, the best way that I can describe this game is that for all of the praise we heap on it and all the critiques that we might have, the way that I can describe this to people is if you want to play a game that has a lot of heart, play this game. Because all of the elements in it might not work into the tightest package. Because I've described games as tight scripts before, where everything just seems to come together into a giant, wonderful mesh.
Your mom's a tight script.
I will not incriminate myself. But
incest is the best. Put it to the test.
If you need to cut that out when you edit this. Can I have my moment?
So you cracked a joke. I had to crack a joke.
So all of the elements might not work together as seamlessly as possible. All of the things might not lend itself to the thematic weight, like I said before, of certain story elements or story beats or character moments, stuff like that. But the way that this game has heart and the creativity behind it, and you can feel like it's a true labor of love. And I think that's what's missing in a lot of video games nowadays. And being able to play that and feel that, experience that again, was a real treat. So I won't give a number grade to this because if you actually if you pay attention to the blog that we're trying to build, I wrote about how objectivity is a lie. But I would say, yeah, definitely play it. If you want to have that experience, if you're missing that experience from your games nowadays, play this game. 1P, 2P, good job.
UPIP.
Everybody pees for ice cream. That's the thing. But yeah, I think that kind of puts a bow on it.
Yeah, so this has been a review. Honestly, this is something that we are going to be doing quite a bit more of. We do have our very hot fire, quick action reviews for stuff we've started.
We got to actually brand that because it seems like it gets longer each time. Our rapid fire, quick fire, hot action roulette review.
I mean, hey, this one was 30 seconds this episode, and we've had like 5-minute ones before. But this is something we want to give you deeper reviews, especially for games coming out. Like, this is definitely a game not up my alley, and I know we can, I think you would agree that as we have continued doing this wonderful podcast, both of our gaming, we'll say, avenues have expanded.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you got me to literally play Uncharted, Infamous, etc., BioShock. Yes, I told you. We talked about it on another episode. I played Infamous. You mentioned it in passing. You're like, yeah, I think you might enjoy that.
Keep in mind that over the past year, I've had to go through
Yes, I know, but yeah, no, we talked about it in a previous episode. Yeah, but no, I played Infamous. I've done Dishonored. I tried Assassin's Creed. Won't ever try that again.
Which one?
Valhalla.
Oh, the newest one?
Yeah. It was on sale at GameStop for $5.
Of course it was. It's a Ubisoft game. The Ubisoft trash always goes down to like $20 after like a year, like a month.
I mean, yeah, fair.
That's why I still want to play Riders Republic though.
BioShock, the Infinite Collection.
Oh, did you play it? And you played the original too?
Yeah.
Oh,
remember, God. I did the original.
Yeah.
Too, and I did the whole thing. Let's see, what else have I played off of your recommendations?
Dead Rising.
Mm-hmm. And 2 and 3.
You played 2 and 3.
Yes.
You can't play 3. Do you have a PC?
Yes.
Do you have any means to play 3 because it's only on Xbox PC?
Yes.
All right. What'd you think?
It was fun. It was like 2. I told you my dislike of quite a bit of 1 when it came because it was a 2006 game. Yes.
Yeah.
2 wasn't bad, and then 3 was good.
Yeah. 4. People shit on that game a lot. I love it.
So, but I've played. John has helped expand my avenues. Now, will I stay in those avenues? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I will not blame you if you don't. Like, every time that you have recommended me a game, I have failed to play it. Although, like I said last time, I've started Phantasy Star 4, so maybe that'll be the one that actually,
we're going to start hitting you with retro reviews and modern reviews to kind of help.
Like I just petered out. I was like, maybe that's going to be the one that...
No.
I don't know, man.
Well, it's Sega, so
Oh yeah,
it has a leg up.
Shining Force. They announced the full games list for the Genesis Mini, and I am happy but also disappointed because it has the Shining Force games and Shining in the Darkness and Shining Force CD, but no Popful Mail, no Lunar, no Snatcher.
You mean the Japanese list that get the Japanese version that gets them? Yeah.
They get them. We don't.
Yeah,
we get Earthworm Jim 2 and
Night
Sylphie.
Trap. Hey, Americans, we know that you like Lunar and Lunar 2. We know that you're really hyped for that.
No, they didn't.
No, shut up.
Who did?
Those were actually really well-selling games.
They're hidden gems and cult classics.
No.
Different.
The original ones, maybe. But the PlayStation Working Designs remake, they sold hotcakes.
Yeah. The PlayStation ones, not the Sega CD ones.
Which was literally a port over with a little bit of an alternate translation.
I just wanted Snatcher. That's all I wanted. And I didn't get it.
I mean, we did get 2 unreleased games.
Who cares? They're not Snatcher.
Yeah,
Snatcher has a full English dub. It's just sitting there.
I mean, Japan let us down. Let's be real. So, but yeah, no, we're going to start hitting you with more reviews, both retro and accurate.
If they make a Saturn Mini, I'm just talking at this point. If they make a Saturn Mini, I want Scud, the disposable assassin, on that. I want it.
If they make a Saturn Mini, it's just going to be Panzer Dragoon.
It's going to be the 3 Panzer Dragoons. It's going to be Bug and Bug 2. It's going to be Astal. It's going to be fucking Dragon Force Dark Savior. Oh, the Saturn would be so good for you because of all the RPGs on
I know, and I would finally
Odyssey.
get to play the Slayers RPG. Because that only released in Japan.
But it's not going to be translated.
I don't care. I will stumble around like an idiot not understanding kanji just to play that game.
Just make sure you end up in the big titty girl's chest. You're stumbling around, you got to end up in the right place.
So, this is
this outro?
This is this.
This is what you're here for, ladies and gentlemen. All that heart and that wonderful analysis is all thrown out the window because titties.
So, when we come back, we have a couple things that we're going to mention that John patented a wonderful name for something.
Oh, yeah. I'm good at that.
So, as you enjoy this wonderful interlude, just be ready for some awesome news.
Don't touch that. Damn, I can't say that anymore. All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. We are.
We can keep talking. We don't have to include them.
Oh wow! Thanks.
This podcast made possible not by viewers like you.
We're just talking about like possibilities for the mini consoles, but no, look at the PlayStation console, right? Look at the lineup that released on it.
Yeah.
Like there are quite a few games that they probably had to work out some form of licensing thing, right?
Yeah, but
it doesn't all have to be proprietary.
I know, but
Nintendo
is the kind of company that when they have the Nintendo Online entertainment system, we're getting games like Scat and Fire and Ice and like Natsume Pro Wrestling, when we could be getting things like Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger and Metal Gear. Like, I mean, we got the Breath of Fire games, sure. We could get the Super Street Fighters 2.
Illusion of Gaia, Terra Enigma, etc., etc. No, Nintendo...
the fact that they even added Earthbound Beginnings and Earthbound feels like a concession to be like, fine, you can have these.
whoever deals with whoever the person is or team, like saying, "Oh, these are the games that we should do. All of you need to be fired. Go commit seppuku because you're horrible people."
Wow.
Yeah, we just went dark.
You did. I was just like, hey guys, maybe give people what they want.
So you may have heard me mention earlier, before I told people to commit seppuku.
Before I told people to go kill themselves.
So John and I, through the social medias, and there might even be a TikTok for Games with John and James about to happen. You can all you want. I actually already created it.
Oh, all right. Do I have to floss now? Like, what is the deal?
So
can we just do cringe videos where it's just us walking up to like families on the street, like, boom, boogie bomb, yeah.
No, we have to do video game dances.
Oh,
even worse.
The freaking Crash Bandicoot dance where he humps the air.
There you go. So I pitched an idea to John, and he improved the name significantly.
I am good at branding and marketing. I can do that.
Video game roulette.
Review roulette.
Review roulette. So
yeah, patent pending. You can't take that.
We are going to go approach play. Could be a GameStop, retro store, wherever, and we go in blind. Literally eyes closed, finger on the shelf.
Knocking things off the shelf.
Stop. Pull it out. And even if it is...
Go into a game store and whip it out.
Even if it's Echo the Dolphin...
If there's an Echo the Dolphin on PS4, I'm going to be shocked.
Oh, I'm giving... If I said retro, so it could be...
Oh, okay.
Pay attention.
No. What do you think I do when I come here? I just black out for an hour. Every time I leave, I was like, I just blacked out for 2 hours. Oh, shit.
So that's going to be something exclusive to our social medias. So make sure you pay attention. So once the TikTok is fully up...
Follow us. Do it.
Exactly. Once the TikTok is up and running, you'll see quite a few of those kind of little skits there. Also on the Instagram, and Twitter will have links for it as well, probably. I think you can do links on Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah. I was able to share something. I was able to actually share something. I'm playing Saints Row right now, the new one that everyone is like dogpiling on. Some funny shit happened, and I recorded it, and I put it on Twitter. It's hilarious.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that was on our story for a little bit.
Yeah, I posted that there because it was too hilarious not to share. Did you watch it?
I did.
It's like, pay no attention to the man in the orange shirt. And I killed a ghost. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, man. It's... So I'm excited. This season we have quite a few ideas that are happening. John mentioned our blog. He actually has his first entry on there. So
yes.
Is that ready for people to read?
It's totally ready. It's available right now. I just have some test scripts up because we've been trying to construct and actually make additional content for all of you guys to read. And I'm going to stop calling it content. We're making stuff for you to enjoy. And I have tried to write articles and stuff. I've set it up. I have the graphic design ready. Everything's ready to go. We just need to actually make stuff.
Yeah!
We're going to just jerk each other off. Guess who's doing it?
Yeah!
No, it's going to happen soon.
You already did that one. No, you already did that one. Last episode.
I'm coming.
Last episode. No. New jokes, old man.
No. Meat shield. Meat sponge. Hey guys, remember meat
Oh man, episode 1 callback.
Oh Jesus.
And 2
Christ.
and 3 and 4 and 5.
And season 1 and 2.
So no, I'm really excited. So you will probably later this week, depending on how wedding stuff goes for me, you guys will actually be able to see my first piece on our website.
Hey.
And it's through Tumblr, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, it's gameswithjj on tumblr.com, and we are probably going to get an actual domain as soon as we have more stuff to show.
So, honestly, like, this has been really fun. Like, I'm really happy we reviewed this. That was a good game. What I want you, our critical listeners, our valued pseudo-employees for branding us out to your friends.
Wow. We're just like every other tech company.
Enjoy indie games and give more of them a chance. Your AAA games are always going to be there, like your big bread and butter games, your God of Wars, if you're a sports person, etc., so on and so forth. They are all going to be there. if you don't take anything away from the review, take away that you need to play more indie, because the more you do, the better it's going to get. And case in point, I linked an article to John last night with all caps, let's fucking go fire emojis. The creators behind the Wild Arms series and the Shadow Hearts series are doing a double Kickstarter that starts August 29th to bring the spiritual successors of both of those long forgotten
Dormant,
franchises. We can say defunct. Honestly, defunct franchises.
Action Park.
And even if it's $1, please contribute to the cause. We need this in our lives.
You need it in your life.
You've never played Wild Arms, right? Ever. Any of them?
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
It's anime cowboys, though. It should be fun.
Yeah. But from the...
the Shadow... I think this might be the same game. The Shadow Hearts series always has a scene where the main character, looks at the main girl's titties. That shit's funny.
I'm going to play this game up to this point. Okay, I'm out.
Because it's a scene where he's like, ha ha ha, and then it has the little, the Pulp Fiction, dotted lines going right to the boobs. I'm just like, ha, funny. And didn't the one game have, take place in the 30s and it has Al Capone in it and he cries? It's like, what?
Yep, so it's going to be Penny Blood...
I'm just imagining Al Capone crying in a JRPG. Wow.
Yeah, but it's armed yeah, that would be really weird. Al Capone shedding the tears for you.
The guy who organized the Valentine's Day massacre. Yeah.
But it's Armed Fantasia, which is the spiritual successor for the Wild Arms series, and Penny Blood. So all of the original creators... so Wild Arms' creator, Akifumi Kaneko, and for Shadow Hearts, it's Matsuzo Machida. They are really, really trying to get, and they've described them as large-scale RPGs. That Kickstarter starts August 29th. You know what to do. Please support indie. That is the message I'm going to give you, and I normally don't say support blah, blah, blah. You know me. I'm a selfish bastard.
Okay.
So
at least you can admit it.
Goddamn right. Oh, and I sold my PlayStation 3 stuff now. So now I am truly only modern consoles.
Including the Xbox.
Maybe. For now.
My head hurts.
So, as always, you know where to find us. At Games with John and James. Twitter,
at Games
YouTube,
with J and J. Yep.
Everywhere. We're there. We've said it enough. Please. But yes, search at Games with John and James, especially on Instagram. Has a link for all of our other stuff. Check us out. Stay tuned. This is the season where we don't even... John said content, but then errated content to just stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff will hit you from both of us.
Yep.
Probably facials.
Both of our stuff is going to hit you right in the face. We both got there. We got them.
So be prepared for facials of content.
Yeah, be prepared for all of us to jizz. Never mind. I was going to say something clever, but my head hurts suddenly. I don't know why. We should probably wrap this up.
So
probably going to die.
So
I'm John.
And I'm James.
This has been Games with John and James.
A review with some fun side questing, to say the least.
Yeah. Scott Steiner, looking at you. They can't hear you flexing. All right. We'll see you next episode, folks. Peace out.
Dosizo.
That's racist.